Hello, everybody. Hello to all my many friends. Also, special hello to all my many illustrious enemies. Once again, this is Roosevelt with another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off. And this is Roosevelt Sounds Off Part 29. Oh yeah, we getting there. We getting almost to 30. And I want to continue on with the series that I have been teaching for the last couple of episodes or so, Stupid Traditions. And this is Stupid Traditions Part 3. And the reason why I'm doing this part of Stupid Traditions on tonight is because for all of you all who are living in Chicago, especially in the black community, where you know that we have, some of us have been the victims of police brutality and, you know, these kind of things that go on with the police department against black and Latin people. You know that we're about to reach a major milestone here in the city of Chicago. And this is something I want to discuss as it relates to preachers, as it relates to politics, as it relates to some of our laws. Because I'm going to go and tie all of these things all in together, okay? Now, in case you didn't know, on earlier today, the mayor, who's our mayor, Rahm Emanuel, had a meeting with certain preachers of different churches in the city of Chicago. And basically, the crux of the meeting was to talk about preparing for the release of a videotape of a police officer, Jason Van Dyke, shooting a 17-year-old kid last year, Laquan McDonald. And this video is due to be released either tomorrow or maybe Wednesday, you know, a little bit before Thanksgiving if you're watching this. And I guess they were getting together with some of these preachers to, I guess, deal with and talk to the black community. Because he wants to possibly make an appeal for calm, or for the people in the black community to stay calm. Now, I am wondering one thing. Why is it that every single time that something goes on in the black community, you always see a preacher, especially a black Baptist preacher, standing out in the whole front of it? To me, every single time that we see this, or I have seen this, because we see it so much, this has to go on my list as, guess what? A stupid tradition. Because first of all, Scripture teaches that you're not supposed to have, if you're a preacher, the main office that God gave you is to preach the word, not to go over and dip into politics and do all of this other kind of stuff. Because it says in the Bible, can only paraphrase it on the Scripture, where it tells you you're not to have anything to do with the affairs of this life. Politicians are set up to deal with that kind of stuff. You as a preacher are not. Your only gift that you are supposed to have, and your only job, is to preach the word, be instant in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, with all long suffering and doctrine. And many of you preachers are not doing that. Why? Because some of you all are too busy kissing up behind Rahm Emanuel. Some of the rest of you all are too busy kissing up behind Governor Bruce Rauner. This is a stupid tradition because, first of all, in the Constitution, it was supposed to be a separation of church and state. So all of these preachers who's kissing up behind the mayor and kissing up behind the governor and even kissing up behind the president, you're not supposed to mix the two because it's strictly forbidden by the Constitution. So I don't know how come this kind of thing keeps on happening. And I don't know how come in the black community, while we always have certain preachers who want to stand up and act as representatives and speak for all of us, like, you know, they act like they're supposed to know completely, and they want to say to the mayor and to the governor what every single black person is thinking. And no, you don't speak for me, Corey Brooks. You don't speak for me, Reverend Thurston, you don't speak for me, Ira Agri. No, I make up my own mind. Seem like it's the only kind of black people, this is the only kind of community that has to deal with these preachers or so-called pastors kissing up behind the mayor. All of these stupid, ignorant, low-down, Uncle Tom Shefflin, buck-dancing Negro preachers want to kiss up behind politicians. And secretly, I believe that they do it because maybe the mayor or the governor is giving them something. Maybe some of these people are getting something from Governor Rauner or all of these other kind of people. It's because of certain black preachers that Governor Rauner got in office here in Illinois. And it's also because of certain black preachers that Rahm Emanuel got in or got elected in the first place and then got reelected last year. All because of certain preachers. And we're seem like the only kind of people who will actually welcome these kind of people into our church. And I think that you shouldn't allow me, myself, I don't really believe that you should allow a preacher even in your pulpit. Let me say this right. Allow a politician in your pulpit. Because on Sunday, when you come to church, that is supposed to be time that you are supposed to be spending with the Lord. That's the time that you're supposed to be worshiping God and singing his praises and hearing his word. Not hearing the lying tongue of a politician. Because that's all they do is something that's just, they just set out to lie. They go around in the black community, into all of these different churches in the black community to try to pacify us. And it doesn't work because they never ever keep the promises that they put out. Even though they do come to the church, every single politician knows that they always got to make a stop when they're campaigning to black churches. You don't hear about them making campaign stops at white churches or Latin churches, or it seems like these are mostly black Baptist churches. You don't hear about them making a campaign stop at the Buddhist temple or the Hindu temple or the Baha'i temple or even the Islamic centers or anything. They always go to mostly black Baptist churches. I don't understand for the life of me how come black Baptist Uncle Tom Shefflin, buck-dancing Negro preachers cozy up behind politicians when it's strictly forbidden in the word, first of all. And second of all, you shouldn't have a lying politician even in your pulpit. Getting the bless every single time there's a tragedy in the black community, they always send a black preacher to stand up and speak for the neighborhood like the black preacher is supposed to know what everybody is thinking. No, Mr. so-called Dr. Reverend, you don't speak for every single body in the black community because why? The black community is not monolithic. First of all, that means that we don't all think alike, first of all. To where you might think one particular thing, the communities think it's something totally different. And in this situation that I'm talking about the shooting of Laquan McDonald, it was so bad because the boy was shot over 16 times. Now, the police, they say allegedly that he was holding a knife or whatever. But come on now, I don't think just because somebody's holding a knife that that's any reason to shoot anybody. Because first of all, a knife, you have to stand very, very close to someone to deal with it. Now, holding a gun, I can understand. But a knife, no. Somebody actually has to come up on you to use a knife. But even if it was a self-defense, to be shot down like a dog over 16 times. And they said this is all on videotape. And at first they were going to suppress this video. But then a judge last week said that they have to release this thing before Thanksgiving. So right now they say Chicago is pretty much on the edge or waiting for this thing to be released. And I guess that he wanted to get some of these preachers and community leaders together because I guess these preachers are supposed to go out with these community leaders and talk to people in the black community about just staying calm. Somebody gets shot over 16 times. I'm sorry, no, we don't need to stay calm. Let it be one of my family members who ends up getting killed by the police and see what happens. See if I stay so calm. I don't think so. That's all that they want us to do is stay calm, and they just want to pacify us. They want to talk to us, and then they want to go and tell the politician, well, Mr. White Man, Mr. Politician, Mr. Mayor, you know, I dealt with your people in the black community, and everything is all right. Everything is okay. Well, everything is not all right. This is another stupid tradition that we need to come out of in these preachers, these Uncle Tom Negro preachers coming around speaking for us. And all of you all out there who are members of these kind of churches, get out of these congregations. It's bad enough that the preacher possibly could be lying to you and making you feel good in your dysfunction, in your dirt, in your sin on Sunday just to keep you, and it makes it even worse when they go and cozy up behind the mayor or behind the governor. Politicians who are known to lie just so they could get into office. They lie about the things that they're going to do, and they don't do anything, or at least nothing to help you, unless Mr. Preacher, Mr. Dr. Reverend, His Eminence, Right Reverend, whoever you want to call yourself, unless you are getting something behind everybody's back for being so close to the mayor. Usually you are. I don't think that this is right, because I feel that if God doesn't provide for your church or for your needs, then the mayor and no one else can provide. And basically, I think that Rahm Emanuel, just like Mayor Daley before him, just like Mayor Daley Sr. before him, only use black preachers to manipulate black people, because Mayor Daley Sr., this is what he said when he was alive, that the best way to trick and manipulate black people is through black ministers and black pastors. Some of y'all didn't know that, did you? So how could you still keep on letting yourself be lied to, letting yourself be duped, letting yourself be tricked by a so-called Uncle Tom shuffling, buck dancing, boat jangling Negro black preacher, when it's just a manipulation, it's all a game? Get away from some of these people who sit on the advisory board of the mayor, and these preachers and stuff who every single time that the mayor has a press conference, you see some of these preachers, one in particular, standing up always behind the mayor. Get away from these people. You can't serve two masters. Either you're going to love one and hate the other, or you're going to cleave to the one and throw away the other. You can't cozy up to Rahm Emanuel or Bruce Rauner and still claim that you believe in the almighty and true God. You're not even saved if you're doing that. This is another stupid tradition that the black church needs to come out of. The black church in Chicago, and not only Chicago, because I'm pretty sure it's other cities that do this kind of thing too. You need to stop letting yourself be tricked and lied to by pastors who cozy up behind politicians. It's been going on so long in the black church that yes, it has become a stupid tradition. And this is a stupid tradition that the black church needs to come out of, in supporting politicians and letting these politicians come in, talk in your pulpits and talk to your people. No, we need to come out of that as a so-called black Christian church. That's the only kind of way that we're going to get better, is if we don't allow ourselves to be manipulated and lied to by these preachers who are standing up and acting as spokesmen for you and I. This is not supposed to be. This is another man-made tradition that man or certain preachers have adopted because they think maybe by cozying up to the mayor, cozying up to the governor, it helps them get their hands a little bit greasy. You know, it's kind of like one hand washes the other. And, you know, the whole game of politics, it's just like, and I can understand that maybe looking at it on the other side, that maybe we need politicians to do whatever and carry on God's affairs down here. But at the same time, I think that God anoints people for that, and that's a calling for certain people only. He didn't call the pastor of a church to participate in that, because as a pastor, you have an office. And you don't have any kind of a right to go and get another office, because your office and your job title is, hey, what Jesus said unto Peter. He said, this is my rock, and upon it I'll build my church. And he said to feed my sheep. That's what Jesus said, to feed my sheep. Some of you all aren't doing that job good enough, let alone trying to do the job also of a politician as well. No, stay in your own lane, stay in the own office that God has anointed you for, and let the politicians deal with what is going on with politics and helping to keep us calm if they can. Let them and the police department have that headache. You stay out of it. Has nothing to do with a black, ignorant Negro preacher. Not at all. And right now, this is Roosevelt with Roosevelt Sounds Off. And this was Stupid Traditions Part 3. And if I don't get a chance to talk to you before then, I might release another video right before Thanksgiving talking a little bit more about the Laquan McDonald case, because they do expect protest and that kind of thing, and I probably will be taking a part. So I might do something on that. But if I don't hear from you, I'm hoping that every single body out there has a very, very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. And I'll see you again on another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off. Peace and blessings to all.